Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all, living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake him up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake him up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. I wanna ball. Waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all, living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake him up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake him up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game.
Oh man, I'm so used to. We're live, by the way. And I messed up because I did have the bird. Typically, Floor Hugger does all of the work, and she has the bird come through, and she's like, ready when you are, and all that good stuff, and I wasn't prepared. I hit the button, and all of a sudden, it was us. There was no transition, and I really appreciate the chat.
That's got to be startling for people.
I appreciate that. I be messed up sometimes, but all that to the side, What's going on, people? Fame Entertainment here from LV1Gaming.com. And congratulations, you guys leveled up to 247. This is a double XP podcast. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the Iron Lords. Shout out to the Iron Lords. I just left the Attic show. Him and Dirt. That's my first time on the podcast with Dirt, and it was one hell of a show. I appreciate them boys coming through with the raid. I appreciate y'all. Let's see. Bordy's in the chat. Bordy, I just heard the good news. Shout out to you. Jeeves, Ask Jeeves. Swaggy C is in the building. Dragonheart, my guy, Otaku Fix. Darth Kermit is in the chat. Appreciate you guys coming through and rocking with us. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We got an incredible guest with us once again. But first, and as always, introductions. My right hand, man, the Floor Horga with the hardest of ours.
Ooh. You know, the hard R, depending on the week, it gets me. But, you know, I'm glad to be back. Jeff, you know, he doesn't have his long, luscious locks, but his hair still looks chef's kiss. And don't believe what Bordy says. I did not get her sick. It was her going to a convention and rubbing him against people that don't wear deodorant. It was not me. Okay?
It'll get you every time.
But I love you guys. Let's talk about some gaming and get into it.
And that's what I'm not looking forward to with these conventions. It's like
I almost brought out the mommy
I'm
voice.
back around people who don't wash their arse. Like, this sucks. And I want to go back to my hotel. But next up, if your emails is popping and your DMs is full, that's because communication director level one game is trying to get a hold of you, baby. BaronJ67, what's going on, Chief?
You know when there's a lot of emails going out, but then there's like that one email you're looking for, and you feel bad for the other emails? That's what I'm going through right now.
I stopped feeling bad a long time ago.
Oh, see, okay, thank you. PAX, where y'all at? I see y'all selling general tickets. PAX. I need to know if I need to buy my flight or not.
Yeah, they need to hurry up.
Like that. Let me know.
They give us passes every year. It'll come. It's just taking time. You're good. Next up, the market manager for Freedom Games and the founder of Dames for Games. Des, what's going on, lovely?
Not much. Just been very, very busy. But it's nice to take a break and sit down and talk with all of you guys today.
Show off that hoodie, though. I see.
Oh, show off the hoodie.
It's not new. I have to record. I've worn it before. You guys just didn't know. But
Okay.
no, I had to do a recording for the spotlight for the Guerrilla Collective, so I needed to like represent properly.
Oh,
look at you doing your thing. And listen, Baron said summon number 3. Last time we had this guy on the show, he had hair, and I was jealous. This time he has less hair, and I'm still jealous. Jeff Grubb, my guy, what's going on, brother?
I'm doing good. It's growing back. I had to get a little bit of a haircut. I had to clean up the sides a little bit, but it's coming back in. It'll grow fast. This time next year, it'll all be back for sure. But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here.
Are you going back full locks? Are you going to bring all the locks
I
back?
don't know. It's too much to think about. I went in there and I'm like, I basically walked into Great Clips. It was my first real haircut in more than 10 years. And I basically said to the lady, this nice old lady, please help me. And she's like, okay, we got some things we could do here. And she showed me some pictures on a big like the tablet because she knew I was too stupid to understand any human language at that point. I just needed to see pictures. And she showed me. I'm like, yeah, give me that. And then it kind of came out all right. But I think I will probably clean up the sides continuously, and I'm going to let the top just grow and grow and grow, and then we'll see what happens. We'll take it from there. That's the plan.
I'm at that point too.
Yeah.
I'm at that point.
So how does it feel to be
good.
God's favorite to cut your hair and then it just grows back?
It feels pretty lucky. People say it's like it's what this means is I have too much estrogen. It's like that's what makes hair grow. It's like it's all my ladylike features that is making me have such luscious hair. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm proud of my estrogen. I don't care what anyone says.
You know what? Let's do it.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Shout out.
Just science.
Shout out.
You know what?
That.
When your hair stops growing, you join the Dora Milaje and you're good.
Yeah, that's fame. I'm not gonna take his spot.
Yeah.
Wow. Jeff, don't dive into
I saw a chance to pile on. I jumped on. I'm sorry. You're right.
Man, it starts early. Oh man.
So you know, I'm
this is such a great place.
Ready. And since the Iron Lords raided us, I'm gonna go ahead and get my Iron Lords Valari pillow out.
I love those boys.
Oh yeah.
A dick, man.
Get
Just
nice
look.
and comfortable. Shout out to the Iron Lords, man. I appreciate them rocking with us. Listen, go in the description down below. Get yourself one. I'm not gonna lie, it helps out level 1 if you buy yourself one through that link. But if you want to become, some people sit on theirs. I don't sit on mine. I use mine as a fat guy lounge, like kind of over my belly type thing. Like that's how I use mine. And Fame wish she had a little estrogen. Listen, I wish I had just a little bit estrogen. I might have to turn this testosterone down so I can grow some hair. Cause listen, I do this like once a quarter, right? It's bad, y'all. Look, bam, that's all you get. It's like a nip slip.
That's not that bad.
Ooh, it's a nip slip.
You
That's
just
all
in
you
your
get. It's
Bron
bad, bro.
years.
You just Mia Khalifa us from the FTC.
I did. But listen, before we can move forward, we got to go back, right? We got to take a step backwards because we had that PlayStation Showcase last week, and we didn't really get a chance to talk about it after the show, right? There was a lot to digest,
Lady Foxfire.
a lot to love, and a lot to make fun of with that showcase, right? So I'm just going to go over to our guest. He is our guest of the evening. And Jeff, I want to get your overall thoughts. You don't have to dive too deep into your overall thoughts on what we got at that PlayStation Showcase after almost 2 years of getting next to nothing from PlayStation.
Yeah, it was weird. It's a mashup of two different styles that didn't go very well together. Sony has this desire to make a lot of live service games, which I fully understand, even though I think it's a difficult thing to pull off and they're going to have trouble with it. I think they know that. And I think they're ready to go for it. And that's fine because it's not like they're going to stop making. I did a video on this. The short version is they have the studios that are going to keep making the things that people associate PlayStation with already. And they are almost certainly tapped out in terms of the kinds of games they can make that are in that style. And Sony has all this extra money that they've been making for years now because they've been very, very, very profitable, especially since they kind of jumped into the overall live service subscription stuff with growing PlayStation Plus and all these things. That stuff has made them a ton of money. And they're ready to reinvest that money. And it's not like they could just snap their fingers and say, hey, let's go make another Naughty Dog. They tried to turn Bend into sort of like another Naughty Dog, and even that didn't work. A very well-established studio that had all the advantages, and even they struggled a little bit, and Sony's not so sure about that. So they're like, okay, well, if we are going to invest more, yeah, we'll have all those studios keep making the games they're going to make, and we'll get to them eventually. But for now, we got to do something else with this money. What else can work? Well, if we hit with a live service game, if just one of them hits, that's like kind of infinite money for the next 10 years. We want to do that. We want to have an Apex Legends. So that setup, I get it. I understand it. It's not necessarily for me. And I think it's a problem for the kind of showcase that they try to put on because a live service game, and I don't necessarily subscribe to the idea that like, oh, there's too many live service games. There's too many every kind of game. That doesn't matter. Like, but when it comes to like live service games, you do pick one. You do tend to pick one. And a showcase is not about picking one. A showcase is about like, I want all this stuff to be for me. I want to be coming out and be like, there's 10 games here I'm excited about. And the very nature of the kinds of games that they showed is that you can't feel that way because maybe one of them is going to be for you. No way all of them are going to be for you. And that's kind of the antithesis of what Sony has done with their showcases in the past that made them so successful. They would have one game after another. Last Guardian, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Shenmue 3, bam, 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 bam. I could see myself playing every single one of those. That's not what they put forward here. And it was a bad show on that regard. Overall, there was games there I was excited about, but a bad show, I think. Not great.
And to make it worse, they did add that movie trailer in there, and that just sort of pissed me off. What was up with did we need to see another Gran Turismo trailer at a game showcase?
Yeah, I mean, this does feel like the Jim Ryan sort of slightly out of touch stuff, but also like, hey, I made my company a lot of money, and like this is our new initiative is transmedia. And transmedia like properties that can exist in anything. We're gonna bring down the weight of the Sony PlayStation hype machine on these movies and turn them into massive successes. I think there's a lot of pressure on them to do that, especially after Mario just destroyed the entire world with that movie. They're like, hey, why aren't we making $1 billion? Yeah, right, exactly. So, again, I get it. But it's a bad thing for this showcase. I got a request to go wipe a butt. I'll be right back.
Oh, go wipe your butt.
Dad mode, dad life.
Yeah, we gotta follow.
Do we need to bust out the mommy voice though?
I'm not gonna say his first name, but
Mick Dickens.
I can say the last name. Dirt and Addict sent me just showing a bit of love, and I promised to behave. Looking forward to the show. Listen, Be on your worst behavior if you need to, but shout out to you for the super chat. I cannot say your first name, but you McDickens. McDickens eating a McChicken. Shout out to JD Gamer says, for Xbox to dial into the community and have this and have a this is how you share games moment, they need to have an exec wear to hold the line of shirt and say, we have something special for y'all that held down the line. Rise to listen. Shout out to King David with hold the line, right? That's picking up hella traction on social media,
that's
right?
A real hashtag right now.
And I think the graphic guy when animated his thing, hold the line, right? And that's big, right? I would love listen, and I said this at doing the Addict show. I know we're gonna get to the Xbox stuff in a little bit, but I'm looking forward to Xbox entering their villain arc. Like I'm looking forward to their villain arc. I think what they did after the PlayStation show with that if you guys remember, right after the show, Xbox put out a tweet, and it was 9 games, and it said pretty much saying, hey, look, these are 9 games on the PlayStation Showcase. These are coming to Xbox, right? And we know Xbox social media team has kind of been on point since the Series X thing, right? When they would make fun of it being a fridge, they was on point, with the fridge means their social media games been on point. But I'm looking forward to Xbox's villain arc. But B, I'm gonna swing over to you. And you were with me during the showcase, and you actually predicted the Spider-Man stuff, right? You kind of predicted. It's almost like you knew something and didn't tell me.
Well, what it just is good storytelling. Like the push you've been seeing behind Miles, and across multiple different medias, from games to movies to cartoon, like it's across the even so much so they just announced the live action. It makes sense, and it's going to piss a lot of people off that you're going to spend at least a quarter of the game where you have to play as Miles.
It's going to be like a Last of Us type deal where like people
and it's going to Ellie, but you end up playing more as Abby.
Do you think there's a chance Miles Morales is above that? Like I feel like that's the one like even like the really shitty people are like, well, one of them's okay. Like I think they're like Miles Morales is the one that's like okay. Like yeah, I'll take it. DC fans are like, I have everything from Marvel except for Spider-Man and Miles Morales. And it's like, I kind of think it's like that.
You're right, but I just have no faith in humanity.
Of course.
And I think it's going to be a lot of scum that's going to rise up to the top over this. But I think something that bothered me the most about this showcase, like they didn't even edit in anything from the Gran Turismo VR or the Gran Turismo game, regular game, into the commercial at all. Like they could have totally tweaked it a little bit and made it dynamic. When the camera panned over the main actor's face, when it went to him playing the game, it could have shifted into VR. It was almost like no love went into it, which made it almost feel like a contract thing. Like, all right, we got to throw it in.
Yeah.
Like, it was weird. Like, these are your properties. Something as simple as that would have took it to another layer, and I don't think we would have talked about it as negatively if they would have simply did that. And then, of course, add Crunchyroll to PlayStation.
Bro, let it go.
No,
let it go.
No. Every time we talk about PlayStation, I will bring it up that they went and bought Crunchyroll, which Crunchyroll went out and bought every other anime streaming service. Funimation is dead. Only thing that's out there fighting for its life is High Dive. It just no. And then you take away English subtitles on English dubs. What about people who need closed caption? Or I can't hear without my subtitles.
Jim Ryan hates the weak. No, you need to read your words. Get out of here. This is Jim Ryan's house.
Yep.
Right? No, but that's such an easy layup that they consistently leave on the table. Just plugging that into PlayStation Plus. They own it.
And they own all of anime. I'm desperate to hear Joe Biden say the anime monopoly complex. Like I want him to come down hard on Sony. I think that'd be amazing.
But they do. They literally own all of anime.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It is crazy. And then everything hasn't funneled over from Funimation. So if you want to enjoy everything, you still need to kind of be subscribed to Funimation in order to get it all. It's ridiculous. And PlayStation's just sitting here with all this power, and they're over here fighting Xbox. as if they don't have a control.
Does that feel good to get off your chest?
Yeah.
You feel better now?
Yeah, I
You
feel
feel
He
good?
feels better, yeah.
Shout out to Jay with the
It
$5
bothers
super
me.
chat. Looking forward to next Sunday, but people should temper their expectations. I was on the temper expectations train, but I don't. It's getting difficult to be that way. It really is. $2 super chat from JD Gamer.
Yeah.
Sounds like a non-gamer made the Sony showcase. Damn.
Ooh.
I mean, a businessman put it together for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
yeah.
they have business initiatives that they want to prioritize. That's what they made, and it's a bit of a tough pill for us to swallow because we all get excited and want to sit down and we want that. We know what the showcase looks like, but this is a lot of people pointed this out. Like the first real Jim Ryan showcase, the ones before were sort of like, a new coach took over the team and he still has all the players. Like he doesn't have his players. You know, if you're going to put me in the kitchen, you got to let me choose the ingredients. The old Bill Parcells thing. Well, we've let Jim Ryan now pick his ingredients and put out the meal. And this is what it looks like, at least for this showcase. A lot of rumors about another one. I have no idea. I haven't heard about that. But if there is one, I do expect it to be more suited toward the audience that we are. But that hasn't happened yet. So far, this is what they've shown us. I think that doesn't, I think, excuse this first showcase and excuse like they got to get an excuse from me. I don't believe that either. I'm just in general like it's easier to write it off. We get a good showcase down the line, but that first showcase should have been better.
No, that's facts. Dez, I'm gonna swing over to you. So I want to hear your voice because you won't be with us over the next couple of weeks because you got so much stuff going on in this industry of ours that we love so much. But Dez, I want to get your thoughts on, your overall thoughts on Sony's showcase from the games we saw, the movie trailers that we for some reason saw, and Spider-Man 2 showcasing.
I was expecting it to be better just because they pulled out of E3, so it's like they had the money to make it better. So I was a little weirded out by that. I didn't like the trailer, but then I was like, well, if they had dropped like a Miles Morales trailer or something, would I be as pissed off? Like, am I irritated because I think the game they picked just wasn't that great? So if they had led in with like a Miles Morales trailer and then showed like the game, I would have been hyped. Like I think people would have been like, "Oh shit," you know what I mean? So I think it's the things that they picked that they decided to show and how they showed it. Like everybody knew at the end. I saw y'all's reaction. Y'all were really afraid they weren't going to show the trailer at the end. Yeah. But I think most people were like, "There's no way they're going to end the show without showing it, right?" And so they did. They left it big, and I think they left it big because they knew they started off very weak. And that's my opinion. But just to circle around, I never get super excited about these shows. I know a lot of people do. I've never sat down and watched a show and been super excited about everything that they've dropped, so I don't expect that anymore. Like I know a lot of people do, but I just don't, and I feel bad about that. And maybe they need to step up their game, and I mean this across the board, because I feel like Xbox, Nintendo, and their shows have been very subpar with just like sprinkles of things that they've been like, it's like leading a horse with a carrot. You know what I'm saying?
The last show that like stood out was the Last of Us 2 show, and that was how many years ago now?
Yeah, and I wonder if like that's like a big part of like why. I mean, obviously saving money was a big part of it, but pointing out at E3 all those years ago, like not being beholden to having to create an exciting show every year, especially after they had that string of really good E3 showcases, and then that became the expectation. And so when they had one that was like kind of okay, or that last one that they did do at E3, which I enjoyed, I went there and it was like, okay, we're going to be in one room and it's Last of Us, and the next room is Ghost of Tsushima, and then we're going to go outside and it's going to be this Manhattan that we've made in LA for Spider-Man, and like that was really impressive stuff for me because it was like kind of theme parky, but it was like 3 big games, and that wasn't enough for a lot of people because a lot of them were known quantities. And it's like, okay, they spent a lot of money on this. I'm there. I could tell they spent a lot of money on this only to get people mad at them on the internet. They probably are going to rethink this. Like at the time, I remember thinking there's no way they're going to keep doing it this way. And here we are. They're trying to like pick their spots. So it's just still weird. They picked this spot. No one forced them to do this showcase. They decided they were going to do it on their own. And I said beforehand, like, I heard it's going to be a good one. Sony thought this internally. They thought this was a good one, which is maybe more worrisome. Like that's what it was like. They were excited about it. It's like, okay, I don't get that so much, but maybe they know more about the Fire Sprite and the Haven games than we do. We only saw the CGI. They bought those studios, so maybe they're more excited about them than I am.
I wonder if they're really that excited. I wonder if like that was like you said, they're excited. Like they must have been excited about the show, but I don't know. A part of me doesn't think that they were super excited about the show, and I think they knew. I think just from the way he was announcing things, you know what I mean? And then at the end, he fucking knew that Spider-Man was what everybody was waiting for. Like he
Sure.
absolutely
Yeah.
knew that.
Yeah.
Like so I don't know.
You know
also
what
I
made
feel
me-
like go ahead. I was just gonna say that like
You go.
they did spend a lot of money on that, and people are always going to fucking hate. Also, not only that, but like E3 became so expensive for people to get in, and it became so crowded that people really couldn't enjoy those things the way that they should have been able to enjoy them, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be putting something online, you can't go from gold standard to bronze. You cannot do that. People are going to complain. If you're gonna do it online, you need to go over the top and show shit that people are going to be excited about.
Do what
Because
Ubisoft does. Give away games during that time.
they
go
sure.
over the
your
top.
people.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Hey,
You know
quick-
what I?
you
go, B.
Go ahead. Oh, okay, quick
You know-
question. D.
Go.
Y'all make a choice on who gonna
D?
talk.
I'm gonna talk. Hey, D.
No, it's my turn. Shut up.
Right.
Jeff, go.
From the back office end of things, do you think that's why they had it so early, hoping that it would blow over about time all the other showcases kick up?
You know, I said that.
That was a big distance.
Either they're going early because the show was
Absolutely.
trash, or they're going early because they're super confident. There was no in between. And
I don't think it was super confidence. I think they didn't have a lot to show, and what they really had to show was the Spider-Man trailer, which they gave a good chunk of time to. Everything else was kind of like, I don't know, everything else was like unseasoned food.
You didn't
And
like
then
that
you got the
Splatoon
dessert at the
knockoff?
end.
What was that game from Square Enix?
Foam Stars.
Foam Stars. You didn't like that?
That's gonna be a meme.
Hey, really quick, shout out
Okay.
to JD the Gamer, $2 super chat. Thank you for supporting the show. A showcase is a show, and Ryan isn't a showman. Rest in pieces, PlayStation.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
You know what? I
I ain't
think
gonna
we'll
go that
see.
far.
I'm not gonna be
Moving
mean because
forward.
I don't think Jeff
No.
Keighley is very showman-y. I think he just talks a lot
No.
when he's on stage. I honestly don't think any of the people who are hosting these shows are showmen. If that makes
No.
sense. Like I don't find them to be super entertaining. They should be the hype man for every single game that they're showcasing, and I never feel that. I absolutely never feel that from any of the people who are presenting these showcases.
It's hard to fake that stuff, and you do it
Yeah.
to show me to fake it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if I don't think they were excited or very confident about their show, like you're saying, it's hard to fake. He couldn't fake it because
Windows
he didn't feel it.
98.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do.
know, Let me offer something else. I think with the this show felt a little more corporate than the other shows. Let's not forget that Sony also owns Columbia's whole movie franchise. One of the best anime movies, Advent Children, is owned by Sony. I think we're going to start to see a lot of in the next Spider-Man. We probably will see them. The pictures the camera you're taking pictures on is a Sony A6000 or whatever the cameras. We're going to see a lot more integration with
Placement?
Sony itself instead of Sony games.
Because PlayStation is moving Sony right now.
Exactly. PlayStation, Sony, they do the Bad Boys movies. They do the James Bond movies. They do like a crap ton of movies. We're going to start to see that integration of like home. PlayStation or Xbox and Microsoft are still like a little separate, but Sony knows that their moneymakers are their movies and their games. So if we can incorporate both and get like people subconsciously to watch Bad Boys, then you're also pushing sales towards that thing. I think we're going to see a little more corporatization because this felt a little like a dressed down corporate jeans and a jacket. I need to tell you something important because I'm a boomer I'm a hipster like you and we got this.
That's what it felt like, isn't it? It gave that vibe. Let me rap with you for a minute.
Yeah.
Backwards
It
there.
really was.
All right.
Mandatory fun meeting.
Oh, Jim. Okay,
Yo!
I'm sorry.
Let's rap.
Yeah. He didn't even have a collar on, did he? No.
No.
Now that I think about it, yeah.
Don't let him come out in a V-neck.
I was
Oh,
upset
boy.
actually when he started talking because it's like he just comes at you with that accent. And like, it's just like,
Yo.
okay, he's startling me.
Like I'm just looking at some of their shows. Sony's got like SWAT, Blacklist, Shark Tank, Accused, Fantasy Island, and their movies that they have coming out. Insidious, which has been a long-running franchise
Oh yeah.
across the universe. The Gran Turismo movie, Equalizer with
3,
Denzel
yeah.
Washington.
They could make so many so many games just based off of their movies alone. They
The
just
the
need
strategy
to.
right now, though, is to take the games
blending.
and turn them into movies, and they are. I mean,
Yeah.
this is definitely happening. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right.
Let us
Where
bring
the
back movie
corporation is like
tie-in
spotting the chance to take IP and do more with it. And I mean, this is true across every decision PlayStation's making, where like PlayStation realizes they are the trendsetters, they are the cool thing, they are the actually profitable. They're significantly more profitable than anything else Sony's doing. So everything they do is like, well, how do we make even more profit? And how do we make everything else at Sony make actual money? And it's like, you can tell it every decision they're making, like Twisted Metal show. Okay. And then they're going to make a Twisted Metal game at the same time. Do you know what that, do you know how to make that fun in 2023? Well, we'll find out. But the decision was made because The Witcher did well. And then that's a bunch of Witcher games. And now we want to do that over here at Sony. And that's clearly part of the initiative.
This is a really old thing, though. Like that's always been a thing. Like, for example, when Hasbro wanted to sell G.I. Joe and like the Gym dolls and things that, they made an entire series first to get people excited. You will
when Ronald
literally
Reagan got rid of the laws that prevented that, they're like, yeah, let's just make TV shows that are commercials. Yeah,
exactly. And so I feel like that's kind of what like the movies are going to turn in. They're going to see how people react to the movies, and then once they get that, then they're like, let's turn it into a game. And that is an amazing like way to go about it.
The Resident Evil movies. They did the Resident Evil, the new show, and the Infinite Darkness movie. Absolutely. They did all the Final Fantasy movies, including that weird ass one that nobody really liked.
The children thing. Yeah. The one that because nobody wanted that. We all wanted like Advent Children, and they gave us some stupid weird movie. I was pissed off about that.
So much integration that, I mean, what was that? High on Life had a full like 2-3 movies in there that you could watch.
Game. Yeah, that was crazy.
In the
if
game,
they own the right,
I watched them.
Smart.
I sat down and watched
I watched them.
Smart. They need to be better with their showcases, though.
Shout out to Jay the game.
But I'm with Baron. Put the anime in there as well, please, because
I think they're going to. I think them buying up all these IPs, they're going to see what works, what gets people excited, which animes, and then they're going to find somebody to produce a game based off of it.
Please bring movie tie-in games back because I missed them.
Shout out to JD Gamer says, $2 Superstar says, Ryan is not a gamer and has no idea what gamers want. That's the one thing people say is the opposite of Phil Spencer, because Phil Spencer you see all the time on his Xbox playing games. Final super chat from Hustle and Motivate, who is always hustling and are motivating. Says, love y'all. I hope to see Perfect Dark on the 11th. Keep up the great work. Appreciate you, Hustle, as always. I want to say this. I want to ask you guys this before we switch. Is there any way you piss off? Because we know all console fanatics can be crazy, right? Any chance they piss off their hardcore base by doing so much with movies and anime and stuff like that?
No, there's no way. Because people will defend them to the last breath, even if they put some god awful, like if they bring Life of Black Tiger 2, there will still be people defending them to the death. What? I want Life of Black Tiger 2, okay? I'm trying to speak it into the ethos. Leave me alone.
I still want Bully 2, so I understand you. And they're never going to do that.
Warriors. I'll take a Warriors remake.
Ooh,
I mean, that game was fun then, and it's still fun now. It would be way better with a remake. But PlayStation is the Apple of the gaming industry. They can really do no wrong, and everybody loves it. And it's the gold standard. So no matter what they do, it's gonna pivot. I mean, you see it all the time between Android, Apple comparison, or iOS. Like that's how I feel it is. When it comes to PlayStation, they can, no matter how wrong they are, they will do no wrong.
I mean,
the second longest running system after, because they came around like shortly after like Sega and all of that stuff started dying, right?
Yep.
So I think they also have that behind them because it's Nintendo and then it's PlayStation.
Yeah, even it's like Phil Spencer really said it though, and this is something that's like always occurred to me, and it felt obvious, but it's like hearing him say it out loud. It's like, oh yeah, this is something that needs to be pointed out. Like Sony won the last generation when everyone built their digital libraries. And that is an anchor for a lot of people. Like, even if I get mad at the direction Sony's going in, I am not abandoning my digital library. Are you crazy? Like, that no one's going to do that. So these things are entrenched now, and these audiences are sticking where they're going to stay probably for the rest of their lives. Like that's most gamers have probably made a decision about where they're staying for the rest of their lives with their library. So that's the big thing. And so yeah, Jim Ryan can mess a lot of things up. And I think the one thing there is they might not abandon Sony, but they could get loud, and gamers are willing to get loud all the time. And that could have its own issues and just be a distraction and stuff like that. Yes, they are always loud, right? And but that's made some changes happen in the past, so I could see that maybe happening at some point.
Sonic movie where they first
Inspector
came
Gadget.
out.
Yeah,
They showed
exactly.
Inspector Gadget when they brought out Sonic the first time, and fans were like, "What the is that?" Like, and they went back and redid it.
Sonic.
Yeah, that's not
my
hashtag not my Sonic.
Not
my Sonic.
Unfortunately, that is my Sonic. That's the big problem.
Shout out to JD Gamer again with the follow super chat. Said this is what Microsoft wanted to do with its TV before they sold the Xbox movie studios. Question for the panel: which will Microsoft buy, Warner Brothers or Netflix? I'm gonna tell you right now. There's no Netflix is making
Netflix
movies, right?
is not selling.
Netflix isn't selling, right? They're making.
They're
movies.
not selling.
I mean, they went and got the art director from God of War. Rise Gas. Somebody help me out.
You know what's funny?
I don't know names.
Not even that.
Yeah,
They're building.
I don't know names.
Netflix is constantly willing to change their formula to stay relevant. They're not selling, and they've been told like their ideas are stupid so many times for them to come out on top. Every single time.
Every time.
He was art director for God of War 2018 and Ragnarok. Then the guy from Halo jumped over to Netflix as well, right? So Netflix is wanting to seriously get into. I mean, and then in Rob's tweet, he's saying, "Yeah, I'm developing a new original AAA IP over at Netflix." So there's no way. I mean, when Microsoft's talking about that, we go back to when they talked about what their competition was. And people made a big fuss about them not saying PlayStation. Well, they mean it's the Amazons, it's the Netflix, these people who have the streaming capabilities and they're ready to go. That's their competition. So and to think about your other thing you said with WB, Barry made a point a few podcasts ago, and we talked about we're not seeing these big studios getting purchased, but maybe IPs. I could definitely see IPs
like Pokemon
being
cards.
Absolutely
or licensed out more so than we see in Microsoft buy a WB.
Yeah, after what's going on with all of this. Oh, go
ahead. So like, you remember how Blockbuster didn't want to change its ways and then it got left in the past?
Netflix is Blockbuster now because
but
that's not Canada.
That's not my question though. My question is basically I almost feel like Xbox is on their way out if they don't step up and change how they do things.
Well,
because
they did.
Yeah, I really do. I really do.
They've made this already.
They've tried, right? But it seems too late. Like it seems like they're not able to catch up.
I'll say this.
I don't know if it's true. I'm just saying.
I'll say this. I think I would compare Xbox to the Sega Dreamcast ahead of its time, and nobody knows what they have until it's gone. And then somebody redoes it in the future. And then it's really, because
I missed
everything about our lives now is what the Xbox One was.
Yeah.
Every aspect of our entertainment life is what the Xbox One was. Yep. We shunned it. We called it not we, but just general populace called it stupid. What is this? Oh my God. Now kids are accidentally calling their teachers Alexa and not mom. This is the world we live in now. And I think Microsoft is notorious for being too far ahead of everyone else. And so I would say not because they're not innovative enough, but maybe because they're too innovative. And if they just slow down, like I think what we're going to see with the villain arc is they're going to slow down and just start money hatting stuff. Every other major AAA we're going to see on Game Pass. I think we're going to start getting more of that than too much more of a pivot. I mean, hell, doctors' offices still have connects.
That's crazy.
Come on.
See, I thought maybe they would step away from consoles themselves and then just
they did that.
Yeah. But really push
the hardware
really pushing right, but people are still hardcore like wanting their Xbox, and they're still producing Xboxes. You know what I mean?
Console.
But I mean, like,
my Xbox console.
Pushing more into like the fact that they should have already built up their digital library. They didn't, right? But are they going to start making like more affordable gaming PCs? And then that way, you know what I mean? This is what I mean, because I feel like if they did that, that would be very, very smart.
I'll give
But that's what some people could see with the Series S's.
Yeah, Series S is a good example. Then they're making moves. I mean, that Asus ROG Ally is something that they clearly got behind, and they Windows is pre-installed on there, and you get Game Pass with it, and
that's
so
true.
there was some money involved there, and that's a relatively affordable gaming PC handheld. It's not quite as affordable as a Steam Deck, but it's Steam Deck is subsidized by Valve because they knew they're going to get you on the other end when they sell you games.
Is it?
Des has got her Steam Deck in the box. She
600,
opened it and looked at it and said no.
Yeah, it's on the box.
Isn't it $599?
There's three of them, right? So
for which one, the Steam Deck or the ROG?
I was talking about the ROG.
Oh, okay.
The ROG is like $650. I think it's there is going to be a more affordable one later, but that's not out yet.
Yeah.
You haven't heard it. Des has a Steam Deck in the box. She has a Switch in the box.
And a PS5.
She has a PS5 in the box.
And they can't get broken if you do that.
Don't encourage her behavior. Jeff,
that
baby,
makes sense.
Come on.
Hey,
No.
I ain't even got no argument.
If I get a Black Panther one, I will open it up.
Okay.
That's the one you shouldn't open. But
okay.
Yeah, it's so pretty though. Like I would sit it out. I might not play it, but it would be out there, so I could just take pictures beside it.
Custom consoles they never sold, which sucks.
Behavior.
But listen, I'm gonna do one more super chat. And I'm gonna ask you guys a question. JD the Gamer again. Can we do a knees on whether Netflix is selling a knees? What you mean?
Knees bet. He want to bet the knees.
No, we don't do bets like that because the last time we bet something of somebody they need to do something, they died. So we're not doing bets like that.
Rest in peace, Demi God Reviews, who we told.
Much love, Demi.
And it kind of goes into the next point about Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart coming to PC, right? We told Demi God Reviews that PlayStation was about to start releasing a bunch of games on PC. He said they wouldn't. I bet him that they would. He said if they did, he would eat a hat. Instead of eating a hat, he died. That is the true story of what happened. He'd rather die.
We don't make
that really
like that no more.
Yeah, damn it, Demi. Rest in peace, bro. But you need to be eating.
I am trying so hard not to laugh, but it was the way that
funny.
you presented the story.
It just
like
because literally everything that he bet against happened.
The only game that hasn't come to PC.
Is that what you're saying?
No.
But the only game that he said is never coming to PC is Ghost of Tsushima. But every other game, God of War, Last of Us, has all come to PC. And he's like, I'm gonna eat a hat with the brim without no sauce, so it's gonna be dry like a Popeye's biscuit going down my throat.
Yep.
And he died. So.
Yeah. He didn't die like eating it though. He like
no,
he did not eat it.
And we can do that because
we need to throw that context in for people on TikTok who don't,
Demi was a founding member
on TikTok.
Demi was a founding member of Level 1 Gaming. He was part of the show. We loved Demi. His personality and who he was allowed us to have this type of conversation, right? And so, and for those wondering, like, oh my God, it's so mean.
You need to be two-something.
No, Demi.
Yeah, Mr. Two-something to do something. And that's how we honor Demi, is by reminding him that he died instead of eating a Scully.
Because he would be mad if we didn't bring it up.
Yeah.
He would be like, y'all know what I was trying to do. So when Ghost of Tsushima comes out, we need to get him a hat with no sauce, no nothing, and he needs to
You should get a hat made that just says no sauce on it.
Yeah.
And y'all should rock it.
Merch idea right there, baby.
I'm getting a no sauce. Yep.
Ladies Foxfire,
right through the
RIP,
middle.
no cap.
Yeah.
No cap. But listen, we
cap.
got one more thing. I want to talk about this Ratchet and Clank before we switch over to Xbox, right? I'm surprised because one of the things I predicted is we would get a lot of these PC announcements at this showcase we did not get that. It's so weird to see them announce it now. And from what I've seen, and my circle is very small, their community seemed divided on whether or not they were excited or pissed off that this game was coming to PC, right? Does anybody have thoughts? And I guess I'll swing up to our guest first, per usual. Ratchet and Clank coming to PC. Why wasn't this announced at the showcase?
I don't know. I do know it was never supposed to be at the showcase. They never planned to have it at the showcase. Okay. So why they decided to do that, I don't know. But that was the plan. I love Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. One of my favorite games this generation. This is exciting. I'll play it again. Yeah, this is their strategy now. These games will all come to PC. Ghost of Tsushima will come to PC. All these things are gonna hit there eventually. So yeah, I'm glad that this is happening. I'm glad that it's Nix's doing it because they got a pretty good handle on PC ports. So yeah, give me that.
You mean
Why
to tell
are
me
people
that?
upset?
You mean to tell me that this game is coming without the power of the PlayStation 5 SSD? But the I/O throughput is so important. This game.
I know.
Stop.
Even at the time, I was trying to yell at people like, all you need is a little bit more RAM on PC, and you're good. You use that little bit more RAM, and you're good.
I'm just excited to see where these portals are going to open up into on PC with mods. Like
that's no.
Yeah.
On Hogwarts Legacy, Dobby had a gun.
Yeah. Hey,
Dobby had a gun.
Dobby should have had a gun in the story. Just honestly. He should have been packing the whole time.
Direct action, yeah. He was a slave, right? Yeah.
Revolution.
Revolution. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's the funny thing?
Freedom fighter.
In terms of hardware, let's just go strictly hardware. The PlayStation, in terms of PC, is already like three generations behind now, because it came out during the 30 era. Now we're in the 4000 series, and now we're going to the 5000
2080 Super or something in there, 2070 Super, PS5.
Exactly.
That SSD was pretty future proof. They used Gen 4. It was very, very fast. Most Gen 4 SSDs that people are putting in their systems are around as fast as that, but most people still aren't actually putting Gen 4 PCIe SSDs into their PCs. It's just, developers know how to work around any sort of limitation if you give them time, especially a developer like Nix's, because they're good at this. And it really does come down to, instead of 8 gigabytes of RAM, you demand to have 16 gigabytes of RAM. And then you can just load those entire levels into memory, and it's going to be just fine. You can just bring them up in an instant. And that's what they're going to do, almost certainly.
Mm-hmm. We're going to PC. I've seen this in my local PC shop, is people like, build me a PC that can run Flight Sim.
Ooh,
it's not Crisis anymore. It's not Witcher, because Witcher was testing at the time. It's Flight Sim. Can it run Flight Sim? And it's only a couple $1,000s. I know that sounds like such a thing, but at least in Canada, it's only a couple $1,000s to
so funny money.
Future proof.
Okay,
it grows on trees.
That's saying that because he saw my money. He saw all my coins.
Is that going to cost?
He saw my.
It's like medieval times.
Money.
Is that what people are saying now, though? Like, make sure my computer can run Flight Simulator. I always say, make sure my computer can run Photoshop and all these other at the same time.
That's the thing.
Can I render and live stream?
Can I render and live stream at the same time?
If you can run Flight Sim on your PC max settings, no stutters, you can. Photoshop is not even a thing.
No, well, I don't mean like Photoshop by itself. You can run Photoshop by itself on anything. I mean having all of those things open.
Oh yeah,
because usually when you're creating, you have all of that shit open and the game.
As somebody who runs Flight Sim on a 980. I do some magic, and it's still like it's struggling. But Flight Sim is
Flight Sim is the one that uses both like CPU and GPU max. Like very few games do both.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna check it out and see if I can run it on
Flight Sim is hard on your system.
I'm pretty sure it can though. No, I would
try to turn somebody's ass.
It
wouldn't cut it out. It would. So most GPUs that we use on our PCs have a failsafe at 120 degrees. Flight Sim will push it. It'll get it up to like 100 degrees, and it'll be like real close and getting hotter and hotter, especially if you live, because y'all live in the devil's butthole where it's hot. So it'll push it to its system limits.
I'm excited to test it out.
Tower,
it's all, you know how every time I come on, it's dark in here. It's always cool in my house, so I don't have to worry about that.
Listen, I want to.
One day her AC is gonna go out.
No, it's naturally cool because I live like my apartment is just shaded, so it never gets hot in here. Yeah, cool. No, I was smart when I picked it out.
Strategic, okay.
Yeah, very strategic when I picked out where I'm gonna live.
I want to switch gears. Shout out to the chat; he's still rocking out with us. Hit that like button if you have not. It helps out the stream a whole bunch. I do want to switch gears because we are right around the corner from the Xbox showcase, right? And Microsoft, well, I guess the Xbox Twitter handle put out a video today that was extremely interesting to a lot of people. It was glitter, like a glitter trail leading up to the Xbox. So immediately everyone starts to scream Fable, 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 right? And I'm gonna get to the chat. I'm gonna start with you, B. In your opinion, was Fable today confirmed to be at the Xbox? I mean, because I think it's time, right? It's been a couple years since it's been teased. What's Xbox? Did they confirm Fable to be at the showcase on the 11th?
I'm gonna tell you, and I hope I'm wrong, and I'm saying this out loud to be wrong. I got a feeling they like low-key shot themselves in the foot, and it's not Fable, and everybody like they've ruined and tanked their show before it even started. And like the whole media team is behind the scenes freaking out because they gave the wrong message, and that wasn't what they expected everyone to receive. Or it'll be like something wild, like a Fable remaster, and it's not the Fable we want that we expected. I'm saying this hoping that it's wrong, but I'm randomly right about really negative things.
You are negative ass.
That would be really stupid of them, though. Like,
but
I can't
it wasn't
believe
on
nobody.
You know
I get that,
but
like, I can't believe nobody on that entire team would be like, they may think this. Like, they get paid tons of money, and nobody was like,
"Come on, we know the higher the paycheck, the least amount of work."
But you know what it could be?
That's true.
Because nobody's even thinking about it unless you're part of the community.
If it's a glitter controller, I'm gonna break my microphone.
That's a better.
That's a
I want a glitter controller. I want a glitter controller.
Better.
If it's a glitter controller announced next week, I'm gonna break my mic.
I want it.
I'll probably get
You
one.
don't
If it's a
need
better
to-
controller.
Slow-mo in chat's right. It is that music is from Fable that is in the video. So
Yeah.
it's not just the glitter.
Okay.
That said, I mean, Baron, I get it. Like Microsoft puts the rakes in their yard and then they step on them. Like they do that. Like that's. I mean, all they got to do is not step on them. But they put another one in their yard with this thing.
Yeah.
And the way you don't step on it is you better have Fable. You just better Fable
it
better
has
be
to
there.
be the new Fable, not Fable adjacent,
No.
not
or
Fable
remaster or collection.
Yeah.
What if it is the new Fable, but it's like it don't really show that much?
That's so fine.
Yeah.
Don't
Are
show
you
too
guys
much.
okay with that?
Not another.
Because I
Yeah.
felt like
trailer.
when, I don't believe people would be okay with that. Because I remember when people were waiting for Zelda to show like a couple of years ago, and they showed like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Remember
And everybody's,
Bayonetta?
what the fuck was that?
Nobody talks about Metroid Prime 4 anymore.
Oh man, you're in the wrong circles. We talk about it constantly.
Yeah, I know you do. I
And
know
dogs
you
over
do.
there fucking salivating.
I know.
Like, where are you at?
If this is Fable, right? We got the glitter trail, it's the music. If it is Fable, right, and they're confirming it's going to be at the showcase, I've always thought that Fable was like a 2025 game, right? Is there any way if this game is being shown, could we get a 2024 release?
Oh, well, we could get a date. I don't think it actually happens. Fable's one of those ones you hear. Yeah, I mean, you hear that's the one that's like, oh yeah, that's having development issues, just like every game does. But it's happening to that game. So it's like, okay. I mean, I was with you like 2025, and I thought we wouldn't see it here. I mean, development issues can happen sort of in a silo separate from someone building an asset for a show like this. So it's totally possible.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
We talked about that with Redfall. Like you showed a trailer that showed no gameplay, got people hyped, and then when people got the game, it wasn't the same as what they saw in the trailer.
Do you guys think that this might have been a they honestly they probably will show Fable, but Fable, like we've been talking, Elder Scrolls, the next one has to be that bitch because look at Redfall, look at all these games that come out that have been less than par for Xbox. Fable either has to be the greatest game ever made, especially after the failure of Halo, because Fable is, when I've been a PlayStation kid all my life, Fable was that game. It's like, oh, you need to get an Xbox to play Fable.
Is it like
this next
four?
One?
Is Fable like your fourth game? When you think of Halo, Gears,
Halo,
Forza, Fable,
Gears,
right? Is that number 4 in a way?
Yeah, exactly.
Probably.
It was. So it kind of after like Horizon 5 was okay for a lot of people. A lot of people didn't vibe with it. Gears, we're still waiting on the Marcus Phoenix collection to come to PC Game Pass because we only have 1, 4, 5 in tactics. I want to play the whole story. I don't know the story. I don't know Gears though. I've never owned an Xbox. Halo, the Master Chief Collection's on there, but we know Halo Infinite multiplayer is a mess. So they kind of go like, this is their next chance to hit it out of the park. To be like, this is what Xbox is moving forward. Because like we get Hellblade, we get all these games, but Hellblade is not one of the 4. Hellblade is not the staple for Xbox. So we kind of need to see Fable to be like, hey, this is where we're taking Fable. And I guarantee you, like Elder Scrolls, because Elder Scrolls is going to be shown. We know every year, this is the chapter time. Elder Scrolls is shown. Fable, if Fable is not what people are thinking of, this could be a make or break. I don't think it's going to put Xbox down because Xbox has the backing of Microsoft, which is, we're all talking about Microsoft products right now, but I think Fable has to show up and show out because it's not Starfield. Bethesda is whatever. We know Bethesda is going to have
way more pressure on Starfield than Fable. I think Starfield is like, it's unnecessary. It has unnecessary amount of pressure on Starfield to be not just good. It has to be critically acclaimed, great.
It has to also not be what it's gonna be. You have to not be a Bethesda game. It's like, oh honey, it's gonna be one of them. Yeah.
But you know what? Same thing. You guys were tweeting about it. Diablo. Nobody had any expectations for Diablo, especially after the beta. But now that it's coming out, people are like, "This has got to be the best game of the century. This has got to be the best Diablo since 2." Where, like,
what?
Where are we going with this?
People just,
one of my stalkers.
Hoping and dreaming.
Hoping and dreaming.
I was like, I am confused.
Super chat says,
"Yeah, it's one of my stalkers. You can read it. Go ahead, yeah."
I lie.
$2 super
Tom
chat
Hiddleston
from.
bodied me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is the Xbox killer from my chat. He follows me around and gives people money to say stuff like this about me, and I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, keep giving my friends money. Let's fucking go.
Can you tell us how good his hair is?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nobody's commenting on this man's hair though.
Well, that's
I was like, Jeff Grubb's hands are like at his chest. There's no way he's typing in the chat right now. But listen, I got a question. So we talked about the PlayStation Showcase. The Xbox Showcase is coming up. We talked about how the PlayStation Showcase was, in all intents and purposes, it was a failure for a lot of people's eyes, right? Mm-hmm. So Xbox has a layup. They have a wide open layup. And I'm gonna start with you, Jeff. Do we trust Xbox to make this layup? Because they have it. People are down. They're down on PlayStation right now after the showcase. They have a wide open layup. Can they knock it out the park?
No, I don't think so.
It has to be better than Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be more novel than Spider-Man, right? Because Spider-Man was a known quantity, and so it has that going against it, which is like not fair, but it's the truth. And Xbox can have a bunch of stuff that is novel and exciting. Will they? I don't have my hopes too high for that. I think it could be a good show in terms of giving updates on stuff that we've already had previously announced and maybe feeling pretty good about those games. I think anything beyond that, it's just going to be a CGI trailer, not going to be gameplay, so it's going to be very hard to get excited or feel like you have a good grasp on whether it's something that is going to be for you. And yeah, I mean, I think, listen, their high watermark was the one from a couple years ago, right? Maybe it was just not last year, the year before that, something like that. Maybe
12-month one.
The one before the 12-month one I thought was a little bit better. The 12-month one was okay. The one before that was a little bit better, I thought. And that's where they showed like they had like some Jones. And Contraband and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's like it was a well put together show, but even that's like that felt like the best they can do, which is a lot of CGI trailers, a lot of updates, but all their games are too big and taking too long, and nothing's really changed there. So listen, I just don't think they're going to be able to capitalize on this perceived misstep from PlayStation in any super real way. Doesn't mean they can't have a good show, with that stuff in mind, with those caveats in mind, though.
I feel like when I listen to you, it's like listening to those people who talk about the game after the sports, like the sportscasters, as they're talking, like he could have done a good layup, but like he didn't, and like there was just a lot of stuff. It sounds so professional, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, he's making it. I'm just like bad show.
This is you just saying I sound white, isn't it? This is what it is. That's what
I mean, you are white, but that's not what I was saying.
Very observant.
That's
Jeff
not
is
what
just
I was
light skin.
saying.
Don't let him fool y'all.
My God.
He's just light skin. That's it.
That's not what I was saying at all.
Real quick, let me get to the
Like
super chat.
David.
Mandingo McThickens.
Bro, just say McDickens.
Nah, Mandingo McThickens, he good. Have you played Halo? How is it a failure? If by separate release, okay. If by gameplay, multiplayer is fantastic in the campaign. Hey, it's just not our cup of tea.
I don't think Halo was a failure. I don't think
I finished the whole battle pass. That's the only battle pass I've ever completed in any game.
When was the last time
Halo
you guys
Infinite.
played it?
I actually just reinstalled
when they
it
did the
because I want
wolf
to get back
thing.
into it.
When they did that
You
wolf
just
thing where you
reinstalled
get
it. That's not what I asked. When is the last time you played it?
When the wolf, the lone wolf,
season 2.
Yeah,
that was dumb.
Like,
These guys are champions for Halo, and
Oh no.
I've watched them play. I watched Johnny play, and I'm not saying Halo is a bad game. I'm saying objectively, from Microsoft standards, it was a failure.
That's fair.
Yeah, it didn't make the
From
money it was supposed to
Microsoft
make.
standards.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And then JD Gamer, question to the panel. Will Sony's recent fumbles and a successful Xbox showcase take the perceived pressure off of Starfield? No. Hell no. Starfield is going to fail for being a Bethesda game at its core.
Wait, are you saying it's going to fail?
In the eyes of everyone else, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be like a kind of thing where it'll be too messy to be like an unqualified game of the year, and so people are going to be like, if it's not game of the year, it's a failure, because that's that is where the bar is set for that game. And I think I think it could be easily be a game that people play for 10 years the same way they played Skyrim, and still this year be considered kind of like not what Xbox needed. So I think in a lot of people's minds, Xbox won't be fulfilled until they have their equivalent to God of War or maybe a Horizon Zero Dawn or something.
I'm
like
gonna
that.
tell you,
that's just not happening right now.
Their biggest sin is being tied to Microsoft and Xbox, because standalone Starfield.
Oh yeah, true.
Jeff just said would be Skyrim was buggy as hell in one game of the year. The year it launched, it was. I'm talking about dragons.
It didn't even work on PlayStation 3. Yeah,
bro, I had to rebuy it on Xbox 360. I was one of those people who fell victim to that.
Yeah.
And it won game of the year. Those same sins have not left Bethesda, and it's going to be a lot worse now that it's tied to Microsoft Game Pass, Xbox.
Already have preconceived ideas of how it's going to be bad, just because Xbox has continued to launch not great
But
games.
doesn't that kind of give credence to what Phil was saying when he was saying it's not just about, we can't just make a bunch of good games that people go and sell their PlayStation? Is that, I mean, because if Starfield is good and Xbox still gets killed for because it's not great, doesn't that kind of go to what he was saying about it's about more than making just good games? Which
no,
all
it's
of us
not.
Are saying, make good games that people will come.
You can't appease everybody.
Starfield is good but not great, and it's a negative. It's kind of weird. Like we have an unfair. There's an unfair.
Oh yeah, it's completely unfair.
It's literally because they've kept putting out shitty stuff. Like if they start putting out good stuff, then it is about me. It's always been about making good games. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what he's talking about. Like, you have to make good games to get a good reputation as putting. Like, then you have that. You cannot continuously put out shitty things. Like people talk. This is such a weird analogy, but people talk shit about Walmart, and like Walmart and Target are basically the same. But just because Target looks nicer and like upsells by a couple of cents, like people are like, Target's the place to go. Target's bougie. Blah blah blah. It is literally because how they present themselves. If Xbox was presenting itself with better games and better quality, he wouldn't have to say stupid shit like that. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
You know what it is also, like, we've seen full gameplay of Starfield. We know what to expect from Starfield. Let's take Redfall. Redfall gave us full cinematic trailers. They said that there was going to be cinematics, not these animatics, or these 2D things that we're seeing in the game.
Yeah,
exactly. It's not. It's a Five Nights at Freddy's situation going on with Redfall, but with Starfield, we've seen gameplay. We've seen countless gameplay of you. It's gonna be a Star Citizen. It's gonna be Elite Dangerous, No Man's Sky kind of situation. We kind of expect that. We know what we're gonna get. But Redfield like pulled the rug from under us, saying, "This is the game you're gonna get." Psych. that's not the game you're gonna get.
And that was
So
part of
that's,
the
uh,
problem, right?
Yeah, it
That
was.
was part of the main problem. You presented something that you did not give. It's not about it being a good game or a bad game. Like, it could have been a great game if you had presented it the way that you gave it to us.
True.
That's true.
Shout out to Lady Foxfire in the chat. Final super chat. Yeah, looking forward to all the showcases. Hope to see Gears or Perfect Dark. Love y'all. Keep up the great content. Thank you, Lady Foxfire. I appreciate you. Oh, I think we got Jeff's troll again. Hold on, I missed it. Ready?
Yeah, shoot it. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
He said, shoot.
Jeff's club clout chases, man. I swear, dude, flip flop. Are you wearing flip flops? That's what he said.
Listen, I love wearing flip flops. I love to flip flop. Like, it's fun because people
It
are
is.
upset. It's fun. I swear, dude. I wish he never is specific. I wish he would always provide receipts. I would love that. It's like I love talking about it. Like, yeah, it gets me
they'll
give me
never
more
have
money.
receipts.
So yeah.
But also, what's wrong with you changing your opinion on something?
Yeah, based on
Like,
new
Absolutely.
information.
But exactly,
based
like, I
on
would
new
not-
information. Like,
Right. Yeah. And the problem here is almost certainly that he imagined something I said that I didn't actually say in the past. So it's not really a flip flop. But you're right. I change my mind constantly. That's it's happening
and
every single
you
day of my
do
life.
flip flop. That's your prerogative. Like, chill the fuck out. Like,
Listen,
why are you so worried about it?
I would hate
Jazz,
to
your
be Jeff
earrings are
Grubb
dope.
because people
Thank
love
you.
you and then hate you like the next week and then love you the week after. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
It
Yeah, it's
is
pretty wild.
ridiculous how much I'm not gonna believe Jeff Grubb, and then you tweet something. Oh my god, y'all see what Jeff Grubb said? I'm like, hey, bro, pick,
Rob said, yeah.
which one is it gonna be?
Yeah.
The key there has been realizing they don't actually like you. They don't actually hate you. It is some character version of you that they created in their head that they are arguing
Absolutely.
with, or it's like it has no bearing on reality. So I kind of
You're a celebrity. Like, if that's what's
Yeah.
happening to you, that's what's happening to you.
The Z list, absolutely, but it's not just the weird Twitter stuff is usually what it is.
Shout out to Jay. Jay in the chat of $2 Super Chat says, do you guys think they'll mention ES6 at the showcase?
I hope they don't.
Hugger, that's a good question because Hugger's anticipating CS6. I say CS6, ES6. Sorry.
I don't think they will. They might mention it, but they're not going to do anything with it.
Exactly.
It's because it's just the one time that they did do that. That was them saying, "Hey, we're about to put out Fallout 76, and we actually internally know that's whack and really messed up, and you're all going to hate it." So before we do that, let me remind you, we are going to make an Elder Scrolls 6, and we are making Starfield. So yeah, like get ready for that. And then of course now we're here. What 5, 6, 7 years later, whenever that was, and we still haven't heard about it. And it's going to be like 5 more years before we get Elder Scrolls 6 at least.
It'll depend on the order that we see it. If we see Elder Scrolls off the bat, then I'm more inclined to believe that after Elder Scrolls they will say, or ESO Online, then we might see the next Elder Scrolls. But if it's pushed towards the back, which it usually is, then it'll just be the Elder Scrolls, which is the Necronomicon next chapter. We probably won't see. They'll probably like mention it. Hey guys, here, this will be on Game Pass available. We'll probably see it in passing, like a Bayonetta situation, but we probably won't see a lot of it. Which, take your time, make it cook, because I'm still playing Skyrim to this day. And I know that I want all the mods I meant have in Skyrim, including the jiggly Tata physics, to be in Elder Scrolls 6.
Of course.
I literally can't play certain games without mods.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Cyberpunk can't play without the mods.
With no fear, because the communication director said it's okay. Mandingo McThickens says, I see my name in the chat. Just want to let everybody know that there us enough McThickens to go around. I'm very giving.
Oh Lord,
that's very generous of you, Mandingo.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Mandingo. Everyone
good,
needs
thank
a
you.
little bit of Mandingo in their
He's
life.
just sharing it out. For
He's just letting everybody know. If
Everybody
you're
gets
out here.
thick and creamy, he's there.
Let me read this. Raymond Haverfield says Halo Infinite as a live service was a failure. The campaign was really good, and the foundation of Halo Infinite is solid. Just as taking time to add all the content that people wanted.
Yep.
Which we are now 2020 it should have launched. We are now 3 years in what the original game plan roadmap was. Because the roadmap
COVID
was already
also
laid
hit.
out.
COVID also hit, so we can't like not think about that as well.
I don't want to hear it no more. No,
no,
I'm
not going to give any game that was scheduled to release even to this day. I don't give a pass for because that was already made 3-4 years before the COVID even happened. I give a pass for the games that are coming out and developing now, like our friends, Externus Path of the Solari. That game was made during COVID, and they are struggling right now because, well, we know why they're struggling,
right?
Trevor, but
But if you have a game that was like in the middle of production during COVID, that's also going to really mess up things. Like if it wasn't out,
Chase,
then
look. Let me say something. I hate when Des gets on here and talks her back office corporate speak because it's like professional, and you almost take it as law. And I hate it because I can't just wild out and say something reckless just because it doesn't make sense. Because how is it you just dropped this knowledge and now I got to eat that? I'm like, yeah, you're right. That makes sense. I can't just be like, no, bump that, figure it out. Internet. Everybody in the industry got a gig up, gig down. Y'all should be able to screen share and develop in teamwork. What is all these? Like, I can't say that anymore because it holds no weight. But continue.
Iron Mike also said, Last of Us, the factions should be out.
That's gonna be dead, bro. That I don't think
they're getting canceled.
Yeah, I don't think.
You know how I know things are also changing as well? Ubisoft just announced that Mirage won't be available on Steam. It'll be available only on their server. So I'm like, oh, so you just cut your sales in half because I'm not buying from you.
They've gone back and forth with that stuff so much. They were just they left like with everyone else from Steam a few years ago. And then they had Uplay, and then they were putting on like Epic Games and stuff like that. And then they brought a bunch of stuff back to Steam, and now they're doing this again. It
doesn't even make sense that they would put stuff on Epic Games because even though Epic Games is like big, it does not make people as much money as Steam.
Yeah, because Epic has a higher cut. When you buy a game from Epic, it has a higher cut than what Steam
does. But they still don't make the same amount of sales to equivalent that.
But Epic does. Epic, you will like have
most people use Epic for free games.
Oh yeah, totally.
That's when we see the most of our people. Like when we do a week free.
Fallout New Vegas is free on Epic, and 18 hours from now, there's going to be another free game. They're giving away their summer game, so there's
the amount of money that Epic has spent trying to get that store to be a competitor with Steam, and it's just never going to happen.
It's not. Steam has like just too many games to compete.
Well, I mean, it's the PS4, Xbox One thing. People have their digital library.
There you
They are anchored down.
There you go.
And even if you give them free games, they're like, man, I wish I had this. Yeah, it's not enough. It's like actually kind of a hassle to a lot of people.
Yeah. I don't want to log into something else to play it.
Yep.
Well, you find games that aren't available. Like I've been playing a lot of Ready or Not. That's not available anywhere else. Not with the mods that the community has put out. So I'm gonna go buy it on Steam. And I'm not saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's where you play SWAT. It's like a SOCOM game for the future.
About that game.
It's really good.
But check
I just don't want to spend the $30.
We should play it. It's very expensive. It's early access. It's very expensive. Wait till there's
it's really
a sale,
hard
but
for
we
me
should play
to
it.
Constitute spending money on early access games. Like it's really hard for me.
It's really good.
Like, okay, if you're telling me it's not like super broke, because I get so fucking pissed off.
It's
like I put $40 down and it's like breaking, and then it's like you can't even get pissed off, right? Because you read that it was early access.
It's the Subnautica where it's actually decent games.
Give me those broken games. Yeah, let's go.
Check it. We are at that point of the show. We are at that point of the show at the very end. We got one thing left. If you guys rock with us, at the end of the show, I'd like to give you guys a suggestion of a video game, a movie, an anime, a TV show that we are currently playing or checking out. We want you guys to check out. If you have something in the chat, please drop them in the chat so I can read some of those off. Go ahead, B. You time me out.
We ain't even ask what we expect to see at the Xbox showcase.
Because that's next week.
Oh yeah, we do.
No,
next week. But we got Jeff here now.
But Jeff can come back, can he?
No,
Be a busy
Yeah, I was
day.
about to say no.
Yeah,
I was about
Yeah.
to say.
Be busy.
I'm not even going to be here next week. And I'm like, yeah, but Jeff can come back. I'm not even
Why
going
he
to
throws me in there?
Yeah.
What do I think is going to be in there? I don't know. I mean, the obvious ones are probably Hellblade, and I think we'll probably get updates on Perfect Dark and Avowed, and it sounds like Fable. I hope, honestly, if they've announced it, I hope we get an update on it. I hope it's that simple. And I don't think it'll be true. If we get most of them, I'll be pretty happy. And then if they have a few surprises, that'll be great. This can be a good showcase. It could be a really good showcase. I just like the idea that people in the chat were getting like, oh, Jeff's blowing me out because like downplaying the Xbox showcase. I'm not trying to downplay it overall. Just the idea that they are going to come in and posterize PlayStation after that showcase and be like, all right, look at us dunking on these fools. It's like, that's just not.
I don't think they're going to do that.
I do not think they're going to do that. I think, but they can have a really good showcase. And, it goes back to what Phil Spencer was saying, like, hey, making great games isn't going to change anything in terms of our relationship to PlayStation. And what he left unsaid there, but what he was trying to say is we're just going to make great games because that's going to serve the business. That's
what he should have said.
It's what he should have said. It's what he meant.
Word for word. We're going to make great games because we care about the consumer.
Right. Yeah. We're going to make great games because that's the business.
That's the business we're in. Yeah.
Yeah. And it is like the context.
That would have been so much better.
Definitely 100%. And I think I'm sure he regrets not saying it that way.
He went home that night and was like, I fucked up.
Absolutely. Yes. But I think make that show then. Make the show that doesn't matter what PlayStation and Nintendo or anyone else is doing. Make a show that doesn't matter what's happening with Activision. Just make a show that says, we are making great games because that is what we want to be doing. And if they do that, I think that can be very, very exciting. I'm very hopeful.
Absolutely.
We're going to clip that Jeff add that to next week's show.
There you go. There you go.
And a word from Jeff Grubb.
Dallas started it up. He says, Cop Street Fighter 6 so you can get this favorite talking. Yeah, I know I suck at fighters. Slow-mo backs up. Go play Paranormal Site, The Seven Mysteries of Honjo. It's like a Phoenix Wright supernatural mystery horror game. And then Bordy says, play Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people. It's coming off of Steam. So download the sexiness from the creators of the best
Strong Bad?
Homestar Run. And also, if you missed it earlier today, Bordy said she's going to replace Fabio with Jeff in her dreams tonight. That was a real comment that happened earlier in the chat.
I believe that.
Fabio, the guy who got hit in the face with a bird on a roller coaster? That
happens to me too all the time. Okay. Yeah.
All the time.
Jeff sexy.
Got one of them faces.
All the time.
One of them faces.
All right, Hugs. I'm going to go to you first. I'm going to go to you first. What game, anime, movie, TV show you suggest for people to check out?
To play, go play Ghostwire Tokyo. I just finished it. I wasn't like super happy with the ending, but I was also in my Red Tide era, so I ugly cried when I finished it. Ghostwire is still a solid game. There's a lot to do. There's various modes to watch. I've been watching in anime ways. What did I say like that? Anime.
Eat the cake.
Wise. Eat that cake.
Eat the cake.
I've been watching Harley Quinn.
Rest in peace.
Where her and Ivy get together. I'm in season 3 right now, where they just got together. It's a solid show.
Spoiler.
That's like the whole thing. Is that it's a little gay.
I know. That's comics and everything. I know.
But you know what? Pride is tomorrow, so we're gonna start. So go watch Harley Quinn. It's really good. If you love any DC stuff, it's kind of like the opposite of what we usually see, like Wonder Woman, Superman, all that. And for movies, because I'm up about strong, independent women, go watch The Woman King with Viola Davis, who is our Amanda Waller. I hate her, but Viola Davis is a great actress. She's gonna pick her bag up and stomp out the door. So go watch Woman King. It's really good.
Just hope she don't fall.
It's really good.
She's
not falling with that step. You see the way she stomps? She's.
I just can't get over how she played Michelle Obama and she did the smile. I will never be able to live that down. But
I love her walk though.
She has a very strong walk. She does. I've been playing Divinity Original Sin 2. Yeah, I'm really liking it. So I've been playing that. And if you want to, it's good. If you want to check out a game that's single player that's really, really dope, Bramble. Like I just discovered that game. Very, very good. Beautifully horrific game. Like so scary. So scary. And then like for people who just like to watch like bullshit, I say that because the second season was kind of trash, but like the third season of Bridgerton is really good. Like I really like it. It's fire. Like the I forgot her name. The chick who's playing Queen Charlotte. Yeah, but like her real name, the girl who's playing her. Yeah. Anyway, she's fire. She's a Steen. God, why can't I talk? I'm tired. Steen Stealer. English is hard today. Yeah. So yeah, go check that out. And I haven't seen The Little Mermaid. I've heard a lot of great things about it. I was like, unpopular opinion, I don't like when they just switch the colors of characters just to like kind of fit kind of like a scope of something. But I'm hearing very positive things about it. So I will probably check it out when it's free on Disney Plus. But yeah, if you have the money to go do it, go check it out. Take your daughters. I heard it's really well.
That's the plan.
All right, B, you up next. What you got?
I go play Chivalry 2, especially if you have Game Pass. I have been having a weird amount of fun playing that. Go play Final Fantasy 15 because it definitely inspired all the Final Fantasies everybody now loves. Which I've been playing that too. And to watch, go watch all the Godzillas because I think all of them but like Shin Godzilla are on
Mouth Beam
are on HBO or on Max. They're on Max now, and if you haven't been on HBO Max in a while, get ready to update and re-download a new app.
No, I will not.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. They definitely dropped the ball on that. It makes no sense. But all the Godzillas are on there, and I've been trying to raise my kids right, and we've been watching Godzilla as a family.
Mothra!
He is here to protect us.
So confused when he fought King Kong, because wasn't King Kong supposed to be the Earth Protector, and then like he fought Godzilla? Like, was that just like something different then?
There was a misunderstanding. Yeah.
Just a misunderstanding. Okay.
Misunderstanding.
Yeah, because humans did pray to both of them like in the past.
Yeah, I was very confused. Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, go watch The Expanse. I rewatched it and I'm catching all the way back up, and I'm up to season 4. Please go watch The Expanse. Please. And that's it. That's a lot.
Really quickly before we get to our guest at evening, Dragon Heart Yobi says Neon Abyss, Batora, New Joe and Mac, Caveman Ninja, and Katana Zero. And there was another one, those Ladies Foxfire. I gotta find it. Planet of Lana and Hoa. That's how you pronounce that. Is it Hoa? Lana?
Yeah.
Hoa, maybe. Read My Hero Academia manga and watch Dr. Stone. And
what you call me?
Read.
Oh, you heard me.
You'll not be messing up. Our guest of the evening, Jeff Grubb. What do you think people should be playing and or watching this week?
Yeah, playing an early access game on Steam called Shadows of Doubt. It is a voxel-based simulated world where it puts you in there and then it procedurally generates a murder mystery for you to solve. And it's a game where you can go anywhere and do anything and investigate anyone and pick up any object and knock anyone out and take the stuff off of them. And you could be trying to solve the crime.
See why you want people to play this game.
Oh, it's something special. It is special.
See why.
It is the game. I cannot wait for this game to exist. Guess what? It's here now. It's happening. I get chills thinking about it because it's the game I always imagined could be possible. Someone's actually doing it. And then watch. Yeah. I'm gonna go the one show I just keep watching over and over again that I'm sure people have talked up. Andor is maybe the most meaningful TV show ever made. It is so good.
Really?
It is
better than Ted Lasso.
So good. Yeah, it's my favorite show ever made. So yeah, I'll say better than Ted Lasso.
Your show favorite. Okay.
Yes, Andor is Every single scene is perfect. It is the it just they know exactly what they're going for, and they accomplish it with just a deft hand. And the acting's so good, the writing's so good. It gets me going. That show.
I can tell.
Hey, Jeff, what's the name of your game again? Someone's asking for the name of your game again.
Shadows of Doubt. Shadows of Doubt. It's on Steam. Shadows of Doubt. It is worth. Hop in there and do the tutorial mission. The tutorial mission is a predetermined. Well, it's mostly predetermined. Like they'll still procedurally generate like the names and the exact like some details of the crime. But for the most part, it's going to be pretty much the same. You're going to go in there and you're going to go into the apartment. You're going to discover a body. And you're like, who is this? What happened here? Because a note went on your door and saying, go check out this apartment. And you'll go in it and you'll like start looking for objects and you'll find like a note of like, hey, meet me back here if you want to buy a piece because you're going to need a piece tonight. Meet me at this address. So that's one address you can go check out. And that address exists in this world and you go check it out. But then you'll get out your fingerprint scanner and you'll start looking for fingerprints. You're like, oh, there's fingerprints on the safe that is open and broken in here.
Oh,
and
wait.
all the other fingerprints belong. What's that?
This takes place like in the future.
It's like a weird alternative like steampunk kind of near future.
Okay, got it.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Because I was like, they sent you a note, and then they were like, you took out the fingerprint scanner, and I was like, why didn't they just call it?
It's like the world kind of fits the needs of the game.
Got it.
But and then so you're like, okay, now I have this fingerprint, and it doesn't belong to anyone else that lived here. So now I have that, and if I go someplace and I can match this fingerprint, like once I get there, I'm like, okay, that person has been here as well. Maybe they're here right now. It's all these pieces you can put together. It all exists in your head. It's not like you are necessarily checking off stuff on a checklist. You need to solve the murder yourself, and it's just powerful stuff.
Is it like really open world?
I like that.
Open world.
It's open world. Yeah, it's like just imagine the voxels of a Minecraft, but like shrunk down, so they're like mini cubes instead of like big cubes.
Got it.
And every person is made out of these things, so they still look human-like, but they're like tiny little cubes that make them up, and that's every object in the world. And it has a serious look to it as well, because it's they add a ton of like photographic filters, and the weather system is like really well done, and it's cool. And you're gonna go like try to solve this crime, and then some idiot's gonna like run in front of you and like say something and like what's going on there, and you're gonna like start following them down the alley, and you might get sucked into another mystery. It's just really, really cool.
Okay.
I like that.
Damn, you didn't sold the hell out of that game.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did. You really did.
I think I wanted because it's early access. I wanted to get the money because like you could tell that they know if they get like the community gets excited about something, the team's going to be able to execute on it if they're given the time. And I want them to every idea they have, I want them to be able to pull off.
That sounds clean. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's dope. Shout out
good
to
stuff.
Morty and Slow Mo. Say they add to the wish list and go check it out.
Yeah, let's go.
Listen,
Go check it
The
out.
man who whips out his chanclata on us, who needs to keep us in track. The man who also makes sure that we don't lose our minds. Famous Entertainment 2000K. Fame. What do you got for us, baby boy?
Really quickly, to play, it's the first game I've ever reviewed and gave a 10 to. Evil Wizard. I loved everything about Evil Wizard. From the comedic aspect of it to the action of it, to the pop culture reference. It was fun whooping Ash Ketchum's Pokemon's ass. Ash Ketchum was one of the bosses in the game. Spoiler. And like you have to fight like Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander, and it's freaking amazing. I love that freaking game. First game I've ever. I don't review a lot, but first game I've ever given a 10 to, because I loved everything about that game. And then to watch, if you want to watch a show that's been canceled but still really good, and Netflix made a mistake and canceled, go watch Half Bad. Half Bad is actually really, really, really good. It should not have been canceled. And then my mermaid is black, my Lambo is blue, and I'll be goddamned if my rims ain't too. Go check out Little Mermaid because it is that movie. It is really good, and they did a great job. Listen, we're gonna get up out of here. This was a hell of a show. Jeff, thank you so much. I know you got a lot of stuff going on these next couple of weeks, man. For you to take an hour, almost 2 hours out of your day to come out and rock with us meant everything, man. We really appreciate you coming through. And you got anything coming up that people need to be getting ready to check out?
Oh yeah, just two things. Thanks for the invite. I really appreciate it. I love coming on the show. You guys are great. The other thing is next week we're going to be doing night shows for Giant Bomb Summer Game Fest. I put a lot of work into getting a lot of cool people on the couch. Got Baron coming over. That's going to be fun. Going to be fun. And so if you're a bit curious about like what do people talk about, and what do conversations sound like like when the cameras turn off at E3? This is what this is. This is going to be a bunch of industry professionals having real conversations, and I'll be hosting the whole thing. So come tune in. It's twitch.tv/giantbomb, or follow us on YouTube. We'll be live on both. It's going to be a really good time. We've got some great guests. Might have some big names, some people that might have showcases might be coming by to talk about them afterwards. We'll see what happens. So it's going to be a good time.
Hey, that's gonna be lit. Shout out to the chat and everybody who came through and rocked out with us today. It's too many names lift off like I normally do, but you guys came through and you guys really made it one hell of a show. Thank you guys once again. We will be back next Wednesday. We will have Miles Dompierre from Windows Central and Jay Barry from What's Up PlayStation. Then the week after that, we will have Paris Lee making his return to the show right after the Xbox show. So it'll be a good time to pick his brain. So I appreciate them guys. Appreciate those guys coming out and rock with us. You guys have been great. I don't think we got much love on TikTok today, but it's okay. We love you, TikTok. YouTube, you guys showed out.
Oh, we got a follower and everything. We had a bunch of folks. TikTok, we in here. Woo!
We in there. With all that said, congratulations. You guys leveled up. This was level 247. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Good looking for stopping by, Audible.
Annyeong.